Frolic family, and welcome back. It's still Black History Month and I'm still celebrating. And I'd like to start this video off thanking you all for supporting my mini tribute to Black History video. If you have not seen it, please take a peek at it. This week, I want to start working in the hallways of the haunted house. Literally all 3 hallways. And get them done and out the way. So I'm going to start with the ceilings first. I'm going to do the popcorn ceiling patch that I did. So you can see that in my conservatory. I did that on the floor, but I'm gonna do this on the ceiling. And I know it's gonna crack, and I like the crack that was in the conservatory. So we're gonna do that up here, here, and here. Now I put the stairs in here just to see how it would look. Let me give you a close-up. Now what I wanna do is take and put some like red cloth going down. Maybe green, but I'm thinking more red. I just love red. So I'm gonna take these stairs out for now because I'm gonna put the cloth down. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that just a little bit. I'll take these out and then we'll go ahead and get started. Remember when I told you that these cards come in handy? Well, they do. So we're gonna use some more of this. I'm gonna open some of this up and I'm gonna try not to get in the way. I want you to get at least a peek of what I'm doing. So if I get in the way a little bit, sorry. I just want you to see how I'm gonna do it. And then I'm going to finish all 3 ceilings and bring you back to show you. Hope this is still good from when I used it on the conservatory. Oh yeah, it's still good. So I'm going to take some of this, take some, and I'm going to stick it up in the ceiling. So, hope I don't get too far in your way. Here we go. I'm just smashing it and rolling it. Oh yeah, this is dropping everywhere. Okay. Alright. Got some right there. Didn't want to do that. And some, I clean as I go so it doesn't be so messy. So here we go. Again. Smash and roll. Yeah, messy. Okay. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. Alright, I gotta get in the way for just a minute. Smash and roll. Okay, so you kind of get the gist of it. Let's try it right over here. I'm trying to get a feel. A little bit more, almost there. Okay, so I got this part done. So now I'm gonna kind of clean up around the edges because I don't like leaving a mess, and then I don't want it to dry and be hard, and then I have to scrub to get everything off. So I'm gonna take them in to clean up, and then I'm just gonna bring you back. Okay, so this is all 3 stairways, and I have put the popcorn ceiling patch at the top of each one, and I see where I missed a little spot, so I'm going to put some more right there. I'm going to wait till it dries a little more and go through each one. So that ceiling is done. This is the 2nd floor ceiling. It is done. And the stuff that's on the wall, I can just sand that off a little bit, but it's not a big mess. My concern was a big mess. And this is the 1st stairway. So let's say hallway, stairway, same thing to me. So I'm going to let those dry and then we'll come back. It's a new day and I let the popcorn sit overnight and this is how it's looking. I love it because it's got like literally little cracks in it. Make it look kind of old and weathered. Dents in it. I like this. Okay, so I did all 3 floors. This is the 2nd. And this is the 3rd. Now, if you've seen my Thornhill video, then you know I'm not going to make you watch paint dry. So I'm going to paint all 3 of these some type of a grayish color. Then I'm going to bring you back and show you how I do the walls. I haven't decided how I'm going to do them. I'm really thinking about brick or some type of textured wall, but we'll see. Get that done. And then I'm going to go through the house. And I'm going to paint each and every ceiling pretty much a neutral color, all of them the same color. Because I want to get the walls and the ceiling done so that I can put the lights in. Once I put the lights in, then I can start putting the floor in. And the first floor I'm going to put in is this room right here. So that's a plan. I may or may not be able to do all of this in one video. But that goes to show, you know, a lot of people take years to do their houses. It really doesn't take that long to do a house. What takes long is the details. So the basic stuff, you could do that in a matter of a couple of weeks, really a couple of months. As far as walls, ceiling, flooring would take a little longer. So we're going to get the basic done first. The details, that's what's going to take a minute. So let's go ahead and start painting this, and then I'll bring you back to show you, and we'll get started on the walls. I went on and covered the walls on this very top floor, and I used this, what they call this, patching plaster. Literally got it from Walmart. So I did the back of it with a card, like a credit card, an old one. Then I did the sides of it with a sponge. So I'm gonna, this is the top. So I'm gonna go to the second floor, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. Now, what I originally wanted to do is I really wanted these walls brick, like I did in the dungeon area. But this is such a tight squeeze, and it's not a case that I can flip upside down and on its side. So instead of having to deal with it, I just went on and did the top walls like this. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Now, like I said, it's a tight squeeze. And I'm going to try to put the camera down and get around the camera just to give you an idea. And then I'll show you how I did the wall. So we'll start in the back first. So I'm going to take a scoop of this plaster and pray I don't get it on my camera, and I hope you can get a good view. So I'm going to go over the camera and do the best I can, okay? It's kind of dark in here, but we're going to do the best we can. I just smear it on the wall and just go down. This is such a tight squeeze. Oh my goodness. Especially with the camera in the way. I wish I had an extra set of hands. All right. We're going to do the best we can. Smear it. And so that's pretty much all I do, is just do like that to give it that look. Oh, I'm so sorry about the lighting. It's kind of dark in here. Don't worry though, because when I do the next floor, the first floor, I'm gonna go ahead and do that without you having to deal with all this. But anyway, so it's like this. So I did like this. So you can see how I did it. And so the whole wall ended up looking like that. And pushing it up in the corners with the card. Thank goodness this stuff is thick, or it will be everywhere. Wow. Let me see if I can set this camera down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Now, I literally used about a half a tub on the top floor. And it looks like the bottom was going to take the second floor is going to take the other half. Okay. One more scoop should do, I hope. Put a nice amount on here so I can have enough to maneuver and play with. See, if I was thinking, which when I put this house together, I wasn't thinking I was going to make a haunted house. But if you actually have the house not assembled, it's easier to do the walls before you assemble the house. Because trying to get into these tight spaces is a pain. This is the ugly part of it. Okay. So I'm just messing with it, trying to give it little texture. And when I paint it, I'm going to have to dab it. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so when I paint this, I'm going to have to do some dabbing like I will on the side walls. But I kind of just move it around a little bit. Okay, I think the lighting is pretty good for this one. So, again, I'm going to take my patching plaster that I got from Walmart. And I'm going to take this card. And remember I told y'all these cards come in handy and I can rinse this off and reuse it. So I'm going to scoop this stuff on here. Get a big scoop of it like this. And I hope I don't get in the way. But I'm going to start right up here at the top. And smash it and smear it. You see? Go back a little bit, smash it and smear it. Start right here at the door, smash, smear. I have to go back here. Try to get as much on as I can to lay it flat, but I don't want it too thin and I don't want it too thick. Because if you do it too thin, then the sponge is going to end up showing some of that wood that's underneath the plaster. Okay. More. I kind of like press just a little bit to make sure it's not too thick in certain spots. And you really have to get a feel of it yourself. You'll know once you start doing it what areas are too high and which ones is not. You can barely tell watching me do, but once you start doing it, you get a feel of, okay, that's high enough or that's too low. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how I make it look like the top floor with a little sponge. So I kind of had to start recording before I show you how to do this sponge because I noticed that down here by the doorway I was missing some spots, and you always have to check over your work. Remember what I said, it's the details. So all I do, I'm going to show you a little bit of it, and then I'm going to have to get in front of the camera to really get it done. So all I do is like literally just hit the sponge like this. And go along the edges for the little side door. Even though you can't really see back there, details is important to me. So I just keep doing like this with the sponge. And then I get that effect like I do on the third floor. See how easy that is? And I'll show you the kind of sponge I have here in a minute. Literally a house sponge that I got from Walmart, and I just cut into smaller pieces. So I went in the arts and craft part at Walmart, and they had these little sponges. And I just cut them to make them smaller for whatever area I'm using. Not bad, not bad. So this sponge I got from Walmart. If you go in the arts and craft part, you'll see a whole bag of them. It's in it like a net. There's no label on it. It's just a tag where you pay for it. But arts and craft part where the paint is and the paint brushes. Okay. So that looks pretty good. So I'm going to set this down because I'm going to do this bottom one. But I just want you to see. Let me see if I can get a close up. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so the back wall looks good, and so does the side wall. So I'm going to go mess with it for the details, and I'm going to do the first floor, and then I'll bring you back so you can see it. This is the finished product. Well, it's not finished, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, it's drying, and this is literally going to have to take overnight to dry. So that's the third floor. Here's the second floor. Like I said, the ceiling is done, and then this wall and the first floor. I did it. This side I used the rest of my it's called, what is it? Dry Deck Spackling. It's pink, but it turns white when it's done. Well, it's almost gone, and I didn't want to open another tub, the other one, so I just went on to use that. Use what you got, don't waste. So what I'm gonna do is let that dry overnight. In the meantime, I'm literally going to paint the ceiling, each one of these, and I may even do some of the spackling on the ceilings, and some of them just leave them flat. Can't make up my mind right now. Okay, we're gonna let these dry, and then we're gonna clean the floors up tomorrow, because I just let everything dry, and then I take a little bit of sander and sand that, get all this mess up. So I'm gonna wrap it up for the night, and I get back with you in the morning. I decided to try something. You know, I want to make some marks, like my claw marks. So I took this little X-Acto, and I made these 3. So I'm gonna add one more. I made it kind of tilted this way. Maybe I ought to make that a little longer. Like it's screeching down the wall. There. So once it dries, because it's still not dry. So once it dries, I can actually take some paint, red paint, and dig down in there to make it look like blood. Oh my God. But I gotta wait till I paint the walls. Then I'm gonna go in with some red paint. Oh, I just keep coming up with these ideas. I'm not getting dried out after all. Let's move on. So it's a new day, and I'm showing you that the plaster that I put up last night is good and dry. But notice the cracks. Let's see if I can shed some light. Look at the cracks. Let me get a little close up. I am loving the cracks. It goes perfectly with this house, and oh my God, I love it. So, but this wall, the way I did this, it has no cracks, which is fine, you know, but I definitely wanted something that looked aged. Let's see. Yeah, you see that? Perfect. Let's check the second floor. The second floor, back up a little bit so you can see. Shed a little light. You can see the cracks, but I want to shed a little light. So, yep, this floor there's cracks and nothing on the walls. And in this floor, the first floor, again, there's more cracks, and I'm loving it. It goes perfect. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, great. So now I'm going to paint it. I'm not sure what color I'm going to paint it, but I'm going to get this hallway done. So this week, I'm going to finish up the hallway. So the painting, and then I'm going to put the lights in. And that's pretty much it for the hallways. All the detail stuff will come last. Okay, so here's the scratches. They look great. So what I'm going to do is, once I'm done painting and it dries, I'm going to put red marks, like red paint in between each one of these and kind of make it look like blood. Like something just scratched the walls. Cool. I want to show you how I'm getting this paint off of the floor. So I'm just taking a scraper and I'm just getting all the excess paint off. So that way it'll be smooth. And if I need to get some sandpaper to smooth it a little bit more, then I will. So what I want to do is, I'm not quite sure of the color, but I know I want some brown. I'm just using some real brown acrylic and some berry wine acrylic. I'm going to mix them together, mostly brown. I don't want it flat brown. I don't want it all red or berry color. So let's see what we get. And I know I don't want to paint all the walls the same color either. So I'm really debating on just changing each floor Then again, I might. I don't know. You know me, I'll switch it up. Okay, there's the brown. Let's try some of this berry wine. See what color we get. Hope I get lucky. Get a nice color. It's not a bad color. That's not a bad color. Actually, I kind of like it. Well, let's see what it looks like on the wall. Here we go. I think I'm going to have to pat it. Because of the texture on the wall, I don't really think I'm going to be able to just brush it like I would normally. Trying to get the paint in between the cracks. Okay, so here's the wall. And I really like the color, but now my dilemma is I've already painted the ceiling gray. So I'm going to have to find another color. I'm going to get this right. I'm going to get it to match. So what I'm going to have to do is play around with this. I just wanted you to see how to go about applying the paint with the brush. Because if you have textured plaster or any type of plaster on the wall, you have to go about it a certain way. You can't just go up and down, side to side with a paintbrush. You're going to scrape everything off. So even with this side wall, I'm going to have to just, pat to get it in the cracks. So I'm going to figure this out on all 3 levels, and then we'll come back and view it. Okay, so I decided to go with the real brown and the berry wine, and I really like the color. I even did the ceiling because what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim everything in black. So it'll be that color in black, and down here it's like more like a gold color. I had some leftover paint from Lowe's, and so I just went on and painted that color. I can't really tell you what color. I'll show it to you. So, but this is what it looks like close up. It's like a gold almost, but not quite. Let me show it to you. Okay, it's called Brass Button, and I got it from Lowe's, and this was just in my stash, because remember, I've been telling people they can go get these little samples from Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards, and this really would do good to paint dollhouses inside and out. So that's what I used in here, and then the first one I put the same as the top floor, because now if I back up a little bit, you'll see all 3. And so I'm going to trim them in black, so it's going to be a lot of accent. It's going to look good, but I'm also make it look aged. And as far as the marks on the wall, you see them a little closer. Once it dries, and I probably have to put a second coat, then I'm going to make it look like claws. See? Just make it stand out, probably with some black or a little bit of red. Okay. Okay, so this is going to have to dry for a few hours. And when I come back, I'll let you know our next move. Alright, so I put the stairs back in temporarily because I want to show you something. I needed to know what it looked like with the stairs in. And actually it looks good. So I'm thinking maybe a burgundy rug going down these. I think that would go with all 3 floors. But what I want to do is I'm going to take some black acrylic paint. And I cannot find my markers. If you have a Sharpie marker or something that you can mark the spot. So I need to know where I'm going to drill my hole for my lights. So I'm going to take a little bit of paint and I'm just going to put a dot where I want it. All right. So I'm thinking about right there. So I know where to drill. And then do the same thing at the bottom. Okay, hope I got that right. Now let's get ready to drill. Okay, I got the holes drilled and I did it off camera because this space is too small. It really is. One, I got straight up. The first floor, it went up the way I wanted it to on this top floor and the second floor, but it went diagonal because there's just not enough space for it to stand straight up, but I got a hole drilled. And the one that went up literally went into another room, but it got drilled. So let's go ahead and put the lights in. All right, so we are done putting the lights in, and I love the way that wall looks. Wow, I really like it. I'm not done. I'm gonna end this week because I've done quite a bit. So that's the top, which is actually the third floor. This is the second floor. We have the light in. And, oh, and look, the marks on the wall. Nah, I'm gonna mess with it with the red and kind of aging it because I still have to age these walls as well. And then there's the first floor. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm excited. All right. So, and I didn't bother to show you how I put these lights up because I already did that in this room, the potion room. And if you have not seen that video, then go back to my channel and look at it. It's a really good video. Okay, so, wow. All right, until next time.